What's up, everybody? It's Coach Andy from FitnessRedemption.com. Today, I'm going to talk to you about something that's probably not as amazing or powerful or all that. I'm not going to be sitting here telling you about dreaming big and doing this and doing that, because I'm always talking about dreaming big. I'm always talking about going out and designing your life, going out there and making smarter choices, going out there and doing the work and doing the things you need to do to create a better future for your life, right? And as a Christian, open Christian, and talk about Jesus all the time. So if you don't like it, just turn that off now. But what I wanted to talk about is grief, because that's a part of life. That grief is a part of whether you're building a business, whether you're just a human being. You are going to experience some kind of grief, some kind of loss, some kind of tragedy in your life. It's just going to happen. It's part of life. And as a Christian, when you're going through a tremendous amount of grief, like for me would have been the day I came home from school and was told that my dad had just been killed in a car accident. That's a pretty grieving moment. There's people who are going through, some of my friends are going through some serious things in their life. I mean, some just to the core grieving moments. I mean, there's, they have children with cancer there. I mean, there's some big things going on in a lot of people's lives. And I mean, they're really going through some grief. So as you're going through grief like that, I know a lot of people, God, He performs miracles all the time. Okay. And I know you've been here. You've been in a grieving moment. Maybe you haven't, but most people have, and you will before your life is up. You've been in a grieving moment, and you've, just desperately prayed for God to intervene and fix it, change it, do something miraculous. And it wasn't answered to what you thought would take place. Your miracle didn't come. I think it would be very wrong and almost blasphemous for me to say, give you some quaint or random answer to say, oh, God answers every prayer. Sometimes it's no, sometimes we don't understand. I'm not even about to do that, because there's some serious grief in those moments. And at times in those moments, no matter how much faith we have, sometimes we feel like it's just wasted faith. Like, is he even listening? Does he even care? Here's what I've really grown to believe, and I truly think this is kind of how, not that I'm going to tell you the mysteries of God or how He works, but I kind of compare it like this. The Bible talks about storing your treasures in heaven, and I wanted to kind of explain it in that sense. I think God is definitely, it's like I'm a trust fund baby. You're a trust fund baby. And what I mean by that is, if you don't know what a trust fund is, let's just talk finances for a second. A trust fund is, money set aside for you or somebody to acquire at a certain date, time, age, and whatever the stipulations are that are set up within the trust. And then there is a trustee who oversees that to make sure the distribution and everything is taking place just like the trust is written up to be done. Every time our faith is tested, every time we pray and earnestly test our faith in any kind of moment, whether it's big or small, I believe that's like making a deposit into that faith trust fund. I don't think there's ever empty faith taken by God that's never put back into use by God. What I'm saying is, He's the trustee. He chooses the moments, the times to make the withdrawals into our life. And it's always for our benefit, never for our pain or discomfort. Because there's been moments in my life where I earnestly, with every ounce of faith I had, prayed for God to make an action to change a situation or fix a situation or move in a situation, and it didn't come. And that, can create doubt in some people. I'd lie if I say I didn't doubt. I've had doubts. Everybody has doubts. But what I've seen take place since then is he'll move in a way that I would have never even have thought to pray for, let alone have the faith to ask. And that faith is being deposited back out in miraculous ways in my life in different ways and forms. And I think that's something we just need to stop and think about is our faith, whatever it is we're doing, whatever we're moving in, whatever we're trying to achieve in life, change in life, fix in life, control within our own realm. There's going to be times where we're going to have to rely on faith. We're going to have to step out in faith. We're going to have to ask in faith. We're going to have to work in faith. We're going to have to do in faith, and expect God to be there to hold us up. And sometimes we feel like we stepped off a cliff and fell to our face. And when those times happen, don't think that was wasted faith or empty faith ever. Because God is storing each and every prayer. He is storing each and every amount of faith that we use. So if anything ever we should take from this is to go in faith more. Move in faith more. Believe in greater things more. Because the more faith we move in, the more faith we work in, the more will be withdrawn in our favor. And you have to believe and know and understand that God works all things together for good for those who are called according to his purpose. It's Romans 8. Okay, if we are moving in a way that we are loving God and putting him first in our life, he, even the bad, is going to work for good to our favor. So never, ever, ever, ever doubt that your prayers are necessarily going unanswered or that your faith is empty. Because whatever faith, great or small, big or little, is it is the deposit to God to work, mold, multiply, and bring back into our life at the right times, in the right places, and in the right circumstances. So I love you guys. I hope you got a little something out of this at least, and know and understand that your faith is never, ever, ever empty. It is always valued, and to move in it and continue to move in it, and have no fear, because God has got the best plan and actions ready to move into your life in his timing. So never, ever, ever fear moving in faith. Okay, I love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.